All right, Phil, so you were telling me that you had bought the bike, you had taken it on a ride.
The first Henderson, yeah. Well, I bought it when they first came out. Going up with a bunch of Harley riders up to the factory in York for a tour. And we stopped. Somebody's bike had a problem. We stopped.
Yeah.
And oil's pouring out of mine. It's all over the side, left side, just soaked. My leg's soaking wet, the back of my leg. And I don't even know where it's coming from. Well, it ends up, it sucked it up through the air cleaner where the hose did. So that was like the first initial issue with it. Although when it did come in, when it first came in, I had to take it back because it had bad chrome on the rockers, it had bubbles in them, and there was some grit in the primary cover. They replaced that. And that took a while. Like I couldn't figure out why it was taking so long. I called up the dealer, and mine was the first one. They dropped the end. I had to drop the engine in to get the covers off. So they, it was all new to them too. So it took a little while, but they fixed it. And that happened before the oil puke. And I think the oil puke happened because I told them I already had changed the oil, and I think they overfilled it.
Yeah.
So it puked oil all over. And then I guess the next thing was the bracket for the fuel injection would break. It broke almost instantly. That was an ongoing problem. Trying to think anything else. Well, eventually started seeing about the transmissions being an issue.
Yeah.
So I was going to take mine apart that winter, and me and my wife were riding it in the fall, and downshifted it, boom, that went. It kept moving, but I mean, it didn't sound good. It was eating it up.
Yeah.
And we were out in the country, and I wanted to get somewhere, where I could get help.
Yeah.
And it stopped, it rolled along the side of the road. It stopped right in front of the state police barracks, right in the middle of their driveway, blocked it. And got a truck come and drag it home, and we unloaded it in the garage. And by then there was Chapter 11, you couldn't buy parts.
Right.
Bikes sitting in pieces, no warranty, 18,500, good move.
Yeah.
So, a little bitter about things, at the time. It was like, wasn't a good move, you know. But worked through that, went to the auction. I was out of work by then. I working comp, and I was out of work. Lou, Jamie, Jumper, and Lou were all going out, and we were going to pool money and try to buy parts. And we all have bikes and no way of getting pieces. So we went out, and I spent 3 days in the bitter cold in Minnesota, which wasn't any fun. And so right before the auction, it gets called off. Heaton's lawyers blocked it.
Sure.
And so the auction company says, well, look, we're going to get this squared up. You guys go out, get some lunch or whatever. We come back, we'll open the factory and go back and look around. I'm there. No way in hell they're opening the doors, because everybody's pissed, and
Right.
What's going to happen.
Sure.
I mean, people are going to take shit,
Yeah.
And they didn't care because it wasn't their shit, I mean, that was the whole idea. Was like, well, he wants to block it. I mean, this is my personal view, I mean, I don't know if facts back it up, but you could carry just about anything you wanted past him, and nobody said shit to you.
Really?
And this was right after 9/11 too, where I went to go fly home, and I had an ignition set up, I had motor mounts and all the shit in my luggage.
Yeah.
So they drugged me over to the side and wouldn't know what was going on. They had the armed guards there at the time. So I got home, and eventually I was able to round up the parts I needed. Things started loosening up a little, and got my trans done. I did that. And also, me and Jumper and Fred Fisher, who's an engineer and early owner.
Okay.
We had sent Fred Fisher, I think, had contacted Baker, who does the Harley Transes.
Yeah.
And we sent our transmissions to him to see what's
what
the
he could
problem.
do.
Yeah. What can we do? So he got back to us, spalling and this and that, and they were going to come up with some fix and sent the transes back. And I don't think we ever pursued that, but I got the letters from them. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of interesting history of it, what they found. And so I guess Bobby Baldwin put out the step-by-step with pictures and all the information how to rebuild the trans, to pull the cassette, and So it's not that hard, you know. So
Sure.
I did about 4 or 5 of them for other people after I did mine. And once you do, you know, I mean, the trans was great. I think I pulled it out the following winter just to look at it, you know, because I had more energy back then, you know. And I mean, the thing looked like new yet.
Yeah. How old were you then?
That would have been around 2000, 2001. I was born in 48, so I was in my mid-50s, I guess. 50, no, maybe 53 or 4, something like that. That's still pretty, you know, my back was screwed up, but I mean, I was still pretty healthy and doing
Sure.
stuff. And so, like I said, did the trans, did the upgrade. You know, the guys would come up with the fixes, you know, the oil tube, and
Yeah.
you put the long, I don't think they still do that, but back then we were putting longer Allen bolts. The case would go into the case further on the other side. That was one of the things we were doing, and I had a couple odds and ends, and I did my, I put an O-ring where the cover and block meet, where the oil goes through. I worked and machine ground it out a little bit that an O-ring would fit to make sure it was sealed, you know, to keep the oil pressure up. Yeah, there was a lot of information floating around back then.
Sure.
People came up with ideas. And on when I did my trans, I think Baldwin was putting the main bearing on this side. He was using a closed one. He was taking it off the closure off the inside, but it was keeping more of the oil supposedly in the trans and in
You listen to whatever this guy's got to say, because it's all true. He's
Yeah,
been
it's
there,
all true. I
done
did
that.
it,
He's
yeah.
got the goddamn receipts to prove it.
That's right.
There we go. Listen up.
there we go.
Right here. Right here.
So-
the OG.
So that I did that to mine. Now I don't. Supposedly the oil's loading up out here. It didn't need all that. This was to retain more in the trans. I don't know if it did anything.
Sure.
It's been that way. Not this bike, but my original.
Yeah, original.
And it's
Which
been
was
like
green and
that.
oyster.
Yeah,
You remember the
number
number?
824. Green
824.
Oyster, yeah. And it's been like that. And that bike got 68,000 miles on it now. So evidently it didn't hurt anything.
Is it
and-
still green and oyster?
No, that's the white one.
It's the
Got the
white
white
bike.
wheels, and
Yeah.
I did it. It's a color. I painted it that color, Magnum.
The same color.
Cool vanilla. Cause I was going to do a pearl, but I wanted it to look like an old bike, so I did it cool vanilla, and then a year or two later, I had the wheels done white. Yeah, I took them apart, had the wheels done, and you know, it looks like an older bike. You know, it came out pretty nice. Ton of things done to that bike. I don't remember all the detail. You know, that bike's a lot of stuff been done to that bike.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so now I ride the trike. You know, because I can't hold the weight.
When did the Excelsior Henderson motorcycle life become easy? Like, when did it become better?
I'd say 2 years into it, and it was still like, it was really tough to trust the bike, you know,
Sure.
there was other issues that popped up on. I burnt, as far as I know, I'm probably the only one that did it. You know, the bearing would burn out on the
Rear
right
wheel.
side of the back.
Yeah.
Well, we were coming back from Maggie Valley, and we were beating up 81, and the bike wasn't running. I saw it burn a valve because it just didn't seem to have the power. It was like someone's holding it back. And it's like, we were motoring, and all of a sudden it like jumped up in the air in the back. It did a hop up in the air, and it took off. And I'm like, what the hell was that? You know? So we came up to the light, and my buddy was with me. I said, hang back a second, you know, something's going on. I went to pull out, and the bike's wobbling all over, and pulled over the side of the road, and the bearing froze to the axle in the back. It bent, the adjuster bolt was bent over into an L. It's all ground up shit around it.
No kidding.
And the wheels it's like, holy shit, you know? So
Pretty
we were
catastrophic.
almost at Jamie's house. We were on 33. He came and got me and threw it in my trailer. I couldn't beat the axle out of it. Hammering it, I had to cut it in 3 pieces to get the back wheel off.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just welded fast,
Sure.
you know. I guess the bearing had been greased, you know, it was a sealed bearing, and evidently it wasn't greased right because there was no other reason other than it ran out of grease over there. It wasn't from belt tension or nothing. So I knew, you know, that was another issue. And and I got though, yeah, I got the bike always would make it home after, you know, like even if something happened, I had the ignition switch fall off.
Sure.
I had the tumbler shot out and all the springs.
Oh, yeah.
Maggie Valley reached down and started it, and the ignition switch wasn't there, was laying on top of the motor. I mean, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That still ran, you know, you put a cork inside the plastic thing to hold it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it still worked, you know, but yeah, it got to the point, it was a pretty dependable bike. I had it down in Florida all the way down to Key West, and yeah, you know.
How many miles do you have on that bike?
I think it's around 68,000 now.
68,000 miles.
Yeah.
So you worked out the early corks, just like every manufacturer, a brake truck,
I mean,
whatever.
the company could have done that if things would have went different, you know. But
it wasn't the bike; it was the fact that it was his first production.
yeah, and it wasn't ready to go out the door, and you know, stockholders and stuff, and you know, they had to get some money, so he shoved it out the door. And
but the community came together, right? And the community figured out the issues.
yeah, I mean, the group of people that bought these bikes, it's a diverse group,
Right.
a very diverse group, a lot of really smart people in it, and talented people that come up with fixes.
Right.
And you know, slowly, if something cropped up and we couldn't get the parts, somebody came up with a fix, you know, and it's just been that way over the years. It's like everybody's willing to help you. I mean, you won't find a better group of people.
There's not
we
a
get
better
together,
group of guys.
and basically these are my friends, because I'm old and all my regular friends are dead, so I do stuff with the Henderson group, and they're my family. I mean, they'll do anything for me. I mean, they treat me great.
Yeah.
We have a good time, get together, and well, you're new to it, but you're seeing what's going on.
That's right.
And I met, you know, some of the nicest people you'd ever want to run into here.
Yeah, and we're fortunate because the day and age that we live in today, we have Mike Seastrom with all the parts. You can get everything you need. Everything's figured out.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a shame the bikes still, people shouldn't sell them cheap as they are, but I mean, people don't know and like to have a bad rep, and they don't deserve it, but they do have the, you know, the reputation. People will tell you this and that about them, but you get one, you get the upgrades done on it, you won't ride a nicer bike.
There's not a better bike.
And wherever you have it, people come up, want to know what it is, want to talk to you about it, and now I have the one and only new Excelsior Henderson trike that was ever done.
Which is a real treat.
And it's a one of a kind, and I brought it here so everybody could try it and ride it and,
and I
get to see what it is, you know. And it's, I got to the point now it's actually fun to ride, you know. It was a long haul, but things are good now, you know. And I can't hold the white bike up because my leg's weak. I rode it once this year, and now I'm debating. I don't want to get rid of it, but sitting in it ain't going to do it any good. So I gotta decide to do something. With
68,000 miles.
Yeah. The head's done, you know, a while back. Jamie guy did the heads on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bike runs excellent. I mean, it's always been a strong bike.
Yeah.
And sounds good, runs good. You know, I like the bike, you know.
Right.
I just can't hold it up anymore. Yeah.
You're a testimony to the community. Being able to tell the stories as original owner, going through all the issues that came from a brand new motorcycle without, you know, unfortunate circumstances, but the lack of support at the time.
Oh, yeah.
But the support of the community that stepped up, all the guys who bought them and enjoyed them, that were engineers and
and they just got better over time. And Seastrom, like with the trike now, Seastrom, you know, we were talking, he took it out Friday, and either. Yeah, he said, lucky you went to the right person, he says, because anybody else would have, you know, I mean, it was a struggle.
Sure.
He said anybody else would have pushed over in the corner and never got done.
Right.
And, you know, jumping with my buddy, I wanted the bike done, and I persisted, you know, stubborn, but it turned into something now, so I'm happy with it.
I am too. I think it's really turned out to be an excellent piece, and it allows you to ride longer.
Yeah, so I can still ride, and it's kind of neat. We were in Wisconsin last year, and company's been going for all this time, and we show up with a trike and a sidecar, you know, like, so the interest in them's there, you know, and we got younger owners buying into it now, and yeah, we're doing good.
We're doing good. Yeah, life is great here, and this whole rally is just a testimony of such a great community coming together and eating and
We're going on a
fellowshipping.
cookout. We're getting ready to eat.
Yeah, we just did several hundred miles over the last 3 days and
Went to the club.
went to the clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
001 here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Mike Locklear.
Yeah, it's been excellent. There's a lot of love and compassion and dedication to this motorcycle.
Yep.
And it's brought a
yeah,
lot
I
of-
won't run into another group like this.
You won't.
I mean, I know people all have their groups,
Right.
but yeah, this is special.
It's special. But there's been a lot of guys like yourself who've come together to figure this bike out.
Yeah.
And to get it to where it is. And now you can't, this bike can compete and it can run reliably just like all the rest of them.
Yeah, the old as it is, it's still. I mean, it.
Almost 30 years old.
Yeah, and I mean, it don't look like a 30-year-old
No,
bike. I
it's
mean,
timeless.
they were advanced in a lot of things, and when they're right, you won't ride a nicer bike. I mean, they're pretty neat bikes.
I agree. Well, good. Well, I know it's time to eat, and I appreciate your time, Phil.
Yeah,
There's not a
sure.
better guy to speak to when it comes to X.
Yeah, 'cause I just rattle on. I'll tell
Well,
stories.
you've lived the testament. You experienced all of the beginning and all the way to.
Been through some ugly times with it, but yeah, it's been good.
But
you
you
know, it turned
persisted.
out good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Keep
Phil,
plugging away.
I appreciate your time, brother.
Sure,
I really appreciate it.
Anytime.